Hello. Oh, that's the wrong view. We usually start here, don't we? There we go. Hello. Welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan, and good morning. And welcome to the Gameweek27 deadline stream. I'm just quickly posting on my socials just to let everyone know I'm going live. So, yeah, just bear with me one moment whilst I post some posts. And, yeah, we're ready to get started. Lots to talk about today. I think we'll do some polls. And then we'll talk about the hype player of the day. Ow, that hurt. The hype player of the day, whose name is Heung-min Son. We're going to talk about him a little bit. We've got to talk about captaincy a little bit. I think there's some opportunity for differentials today. There, in terms of captaincy, I think there might be some opportunity. I think the sensible choice is probably to go for Haaland, of course, as it always is. But at the same time, you know, maybe we could go elsewhere. And I think we should talk about that a little bit. And, of course, the bench list. We'll be doing a bench list this morning because, I mean, come on, guys. It's one of... I think it's one of those weeks where maybe there's some bench dilemmas to be had. A lot of people in particular wondering if they should bench Solanke or not. We're going to talk about that. Don't you worry. Let me just put this tweet out. Gameweek27 deadline stream live. Will be live for the next 2 to 3 hours, answering your final deadline questions and post. There we go. There we go. Right, okay. Zufi says, no way you're streaming this early. It means you can finally read my comments. Start Solanke or Palmer. I think I'd start Palmer. This game week. But we'll be putting these players on the bench list. Let's say good morning to the members as well. I don't know if we've got any members in the chat this morning. We have got a few. Duncan, nice to see ya. Who else we got here? We've got Lucas. Hello, good morning, Lucas. And good morning, Scott, as well. Hope you're all doing well. Jose says, hello, Dan. Love from Africa. Love right back to Africa from the United Kingdom here as well. And Railgun says, hi, Marcus. Was that aimed at me? My name's not Marcus. I don't think my name's Marcus, unless I've had a suspicious name change that I was not aware of. Joel says, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. I love it when the deadline is a little bit later, to be honest. You guys know I'm not a morning person, so when we get to stream a little bit later, I'm actually, you know, well up for it. That's why we're going early today, because, like, if it's like an 11:30 deadline, I can't handle like starting at like a 9:30 stream. I'm just not, my brain just does not work that early in the morning. But because we got a 1:30 p.m. stream, deadline in the UK at least, it's a little bit nicer. Maybe I should emigrate. Maybe I should just move countries. If I where would it be where the morning streams were actually more like evening streams, like America or something? That would be nice. Yeah, moving to New York or something like that. Get an extra 5 hours sleep before the deadline. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. That'd be nice. Sahil, thank you very much for joining as a member. Very, very kind of you. Enjoy the new emojis. Get your black currant squash emojis out, because that's what we're drinking this morning. FPL Wasteman, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Let's have a look at my team. This is where I am at the moment. I am actually, compared to a lot of people, I think I'm pretty happy with my team. I know a lot of people may be making a lot of transfers. I haven't made a transfer yet. I'm reasonably happy with my team. The only position I'm not happy with is in defence. And I think, to be honest, I know Pedro Porro's not going to play. So he's probably, if I'm going to transfer a defender, he'll be the one to go. I could just play a Stupinian. That is obviously going to be an option for me. But in general, I think my team looks pretty nice for this week. It's particularly if Solanke plays, which I think he's got a good chance. Jordan says, not America, I have to go east. No, that's not true. That's just not true. Because if I went to, I don't know, like Norway. I am sure there's people from Norway in the chat. There's always plenty of people from Norway involved in FPL. That would be like 1 hour earlier, right? It would be, okay, so it's 11:30 here. So in Norway, it's 10:30 a.m. I'm pretty sure that's, the further east you go, that earlier it is in the day. I think that's how it works. I'm going to Norway, by the way. Going to Norway in a couple of weeks' time. I can't wait. Never been before. Perhaps we'll talk about that a little more after the deadline is passed, because I might need, if there's any Norwegians or people who have been to Norway in the past, I might need maybe some travel advice. That would be pretty nice. That'd be pretty nice. Right. John Gattuso says, what the fuck? I literally have some blackcurrant squash next to me. It's the goated drink. It's the goated drink. It is the perfect, refreshing drink for a deadline morning. So there we go. Wait, so it's 1 hour later in Norway. Oh, have I just gone crazy then? What's the time in Norway? Is it 11:30? No, 12:30 in Norway then? Oh man. Now I'm just confused. It's 6:30 in New York. Okay, I've completely screwed this up. Right, let's have a look at some time zone map. What is the time around the world right now? Oh guys, I've completely screwed this up, haven't I? So in Oslo it's 12:30. Yeah. So where would I want to go? I would want to go all the way over here. Maybe I move to, what's the time in India? Oh wow, 5. Nice afternoon in Mumbai, India. Nice stuff. Anyway, listen to that. You see, this is what happens when we start streaming like 2 hours earlier. We already know that the FPL chat is not going to fill up 2 hours, and we're going to start repeating ourselves. So we might as well throw in some random things in there as well. A couple of super chats here. And Kick Your Ass says America is 6 to 8 hours behind. Lol. Yeah, I'm just discovering this now. I've completely screwed that up. And Lucas says, hi, I'm going to free hit in Gameweek 29 for Gameweek 34. I want Solanke and Eze. Understandable. Wait, what? Wait, hang on. I need to see this. So now, should I, 1, Richarlison and Archer to Eze and Solanke? Yeah, I like it a lot. Or 2, Richarlison and Porro to Estupinian. Oh, Porro / Estupinian to Son and Sinessa. This is a very confusing message. I apologise to everyone else listening. I think I like option 1. If you have another defender to play this week, I would do option 1. Some would go for Salah in Gameweek 30, as I've no other way to get my win. Yeah, everyone's the same. Like, I think everyone is in the same boat. You're either going to own KDB or Son. And whichever one you have right now, you're probably going to sell for Salah in Gameweek 30. I think that's just the way things are going to work. And my small issue with that is that if you're buying Son, he plays against Luton in 30 and West Ham in 31 and Nottingham Forest in 32. So I think Son is going to be really hard to sell for Salah during those game weeks. I really do. I think it's going to be tough to sell. And that's in particular why I don't think I would recommend going KDB. Particularly if you're free hitting in 29 anyway. KDB is fine for the next 2 game weeks. He's a big game player anyway against Manchester United and Liverpool. I think you take KDB for the next 2 game weeks. And then if you're free hitting in 29 anyway, you bring in Son then. And then you swap KDB to Salah in 30. Because if you have Son, I don't know. There must be a way, surely. But if you want to have Son, Salah, and Haaland in your team, all 3 of them, then someone's got to go. And it's going to have to be Watkins or Saka. So maybe Watkins is a player that can go. Maybe Saka. I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? It's really, really tough. It really, really is. So, yeah, if you have KDB, I'd probably keep him. If I had Son, I'd probably keep them. And, whichever one you have, you're probably going to move in Gameweek 30 to Salah unless you can find a way of, doing it slightly differently. I think. Lucas says, thanks for your response, Dan. Apologies for the confusing message. There's a digit limiter. Yeah. I know it's hard to put like detailed messages in a super chat. Like, it would be nice if you could like attach pictures maybe to super chats, because it's quite confusing when we've got to go through a bunch of options in one. But yeah, hopefully we got to the bottom of that in the end. Richard said can keep them all. How? Who is being sacrificed? Saka or Watkins or what? Someone's got to go. Someone's got to go. So Hill says, mate, do you think if Solanke doesn't start this game week, it makes Tavernier a better option or a worse option? I would say a worse option because Tavernier is like the creative force in that Bournemouth team. But at the same time, you know, if you're a creative force and you've lost a player who you're going to be creating for, then that's only bad news, right? That's only bad news. We Talk Football says, hi, Dan, start Senesi or Doughty? I would start Senesi. Doughty could play. I've been seeing this morning that there's a good chance that Doughty actually plays centre-back. Yes, centre-back. Because Luton have so many defensive issues. I'll show you right now. Honestly, it's serious. So not only is Adebayo injured and Brown injured and Osho is injured, Bell is potentially injured. He usually plays left centre-back. Sambi Lokonga is injured. Lockyer's still out. Nakamba's still out. Anderson is still out. Potts is out. Hamstring injury for him. It's there's a lot of injuries in the defensive areas, and it could mean that Kabore will come in on the right, or Gbene will go over to the left, and actually Doughty has to play at the left centre-back position, assuming that Luton continue with a 5 at the back. Their defence is just shot at the moment, and that's for a team who already concede a whole bunch of chances. So it's a really, really difficult situation for Luton, and I just don't know if I can really, you know, particularly against Aston Villa, who we know is going to score a whole bunch of goals. It's going to be yeah, we're at serious risk of a 0-pointer for Doughty. Serious risk. Not really feeling him at the moment, but we'll cover him in the bench list and many other players if you should play them or not. I mean, I wouldn't be buying Doughty, but you know, if you have him already, then you have him already, and maybe you're well set up for next game week and the week after as well. So he's not a bad player to own, but I would be slightly concerned this game week about playing him. Although saying that, defenders are just terrible. They are just so bad, aren't they? They really, really are. They've been no good whatsoever. It's been a constant source of problems. Oh, here's some news, actually. I need to put this on the ticker. I don't know if any of you guys saw, but Alisson, it looks like, could be out for the majority of the season. Alisson could be out for most of the season. So that means Kelleher's stonks have just gone up significantly, really, really nicely. So if you're a wild card right now, what is going on? Is it back? I think we're back. It's yeah, okay, yeah. We died, didn't we? But we're back. As always, apologies. My internet's terrible, but it actually does look like I've got some positive. So I've got some positive potential things happening with my internet. It could be getting better. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, but we're back. That's what's important. But yeah, Kelleher. I wouldn't, if you don't have him already, unless you're on a wild card, I would just probably ignore him until game week 31. Or no, maybe 30 actually. So ignore Kelleher until 30, but after 30, I think he could be the guy. I think he really could be the guy to go for in goal. 3.7 million. We've been crying out for a decent goalkeeper all season. We just haven't found one. And I think this could be the one. I mean, if Alisson was 3.7 million, you'd be taking him every day of the week, wouldn't you? So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Alan says it's YouTube Live's problem. Do you think? Did some other people's streams go down as well, maybe? I don't know. Oh, well. We're here now, at least. There seems to be a lot of bench-related questions. I am keen to do a bench list. But I don't know if I want to save it till later on in the stream. I think let's give it another 15 minutes and then we'll start doing the bench list. Because we're so early and we don't want to blow our load too early. You know, I'm sure. I mean, I can't relate personally, but maybe some of you guys with partners, intimate partners, you know, you may have issues with blowing your load early. Couldn't be me, but if it happens, it happens. I don't want to do that on stream today with you guys. Do not want to do that. No, we do not. Anyway. So I think I want to buy a new defender. I think the obvious player to buy is Senesi. I'm waiting for... I want to see if there's any, like, team news or anything that comes out. So, for example, if it's Stupinian, like, if we find out Stupinian is starting, then I'd probably just play a Stupinian and don't bother with a defensive transfer and maybe give it one more week before locking that in. Because my one issue with Senesi, and he is the defender I want, if there is one defender I want, is Senesi, and I do have an issue with him, because if he picks up 2 more yellow cards before game week 33, I believe, he is going to be suspended. And if he gets a yellow card this game week, that's probably enough to put me off him. Because if he gets a yellow card this game week and again next game, the first game of next game week, then he's not even going to have a double game week, which is a problem. Daniel, who is your favourite musician? I guess we're going wild with the questions today. No FPL. Who's your favourite musician? Porter Robinson, without a shadow of a doubt. Nuno Carvalho says, not very classy what he just said. Okay. I need to call the local church because one of their nuns has gone missing. We'll send Nuno back to the local nunnery in no time whatsoever. Kablash says, Dan, what about Saliba? He's definitely a consideration, but for me personally, I don't think I want to go there because it's a financial issue, and I can't afford to make a direct switch. Well, I can afford to make a direct switch from Pedro Porro to Saliba, but that would scupper future plans and trying to get Salah back into my team. So I'm trying to be very aware of, what kind of moves I make now and how that might impact moves in the future. Because I think a huge, big thing is making sure we have a route to Salah, crafting a route to Salah. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. Ali says, what's your favourite movie? Interstellar. There you go. Favourite musical artist? Porter Robinson. Favourite movie? Interstellar. I think Interstellar is the greatest movie of all time, and we're going to put that one out there. I know people like to say that it's what's that? What's that prison movie? Oh man, you guys are gonna be screaming in the chat. The movie where he escapes the prison. Prison Escape. Yeah, it's called Prison Escape. We'll go Prison Escape. The movie. People say that's the best movie. Maybe say Godfather 2 is the greatest movie. Interstellar is the one. Jim Kehoe with a super chat says, wildcarded this week, Dan. Reason is free hit 34. Any other tips you have, I would appreciate it. The stress is real. Keep up the great content. My tips would be to triple up on Spurs. I think that's really, really important. Son, Maddison are probably essential. After that, maybe consider a defender. A doggy would be the guy I'd go for. I think a doggy has a good chance of playing today. Obviously, Ollie Watkins is your friend. Maybe going for at least one Luton Town player, because then you have a double game week next week and you actually have a fixture the following week as well. So you might be looking at the likes of Morris. You might be looking at the likes of Doughty for that. Those are probably the two big ones. So yeah, I think those would be my biggest wildcard tips this week. I think outside of that, you can probably freestyle it a little bit. I don't think you need 11 players for Game Week 29 if you don't want to, even if you are on a wildcard. So there we go. Vizzo said, my defense is Gabriel, Walker, Virgil, Taylor, and Trippier. Should I take a -4 for Senesi in for either of them? If not, select 3 defenders from the list above. So you're going to play Gabriel. You're going to play Van Dijk. To be fair, you're fine to play one of Walker or Trippier as well. So I don't think I would make the transfer. I don't think you, certainly not for a -4, Vizzo. You don't need to make a transfer. Your defense is okay as it is. I'd be between Walker and Trippier. I would maybe back Trippier for the attacking threat, but Walker has the better chance for clean sheet. So I think Trippier has the higher chance of going large by means of those attacking returns. And I don't think Walker is guaranteed a clean sheet either. So, okay, maybe in that case, Trippier. So Gabriel, Van Dijk, and Trippier should probably be your back line. And, of course, everyone in the chat saying Shawshank Redemption. Which I don't know how I managed to forget, but I did. But still, Interstellar is a better movie. I'm putting that one out there. Interstellar is the one. There you go. A couple of super chats coming in again right now. Mumu says, thoughts on Luis Diaz or Martinelli for He-Chan? Don't love it. I think there's better. I think there is better options. I think Luis Diaz could do well this game week, as could Martinelli, but I don't know if they're players I'd want to own long term, like either of those players. So I'll probably look elsewhere. You could even, go for something a bit cheaper. If you can go for Son, you go for Son. If you go for Maddison, you maybe go for Maddison. If you fancy a differential, someone like Eze could work. Gordon is always on the menu. So I prefer those kind of players. I think Luis Diaz and Martinelli are fine for this game week, but I think they're transfers back out waiting to happen, if you like. And I think there's other players that could do just as well as those guys in the short term, as well as being picks you quite like to hold on to. CFC Ethan says Hwang and Richarlison out for Son and Bailey for a -4. I don't mind it, particularly if you are planning on navigating Game Week 29 without a free hit. Then actually I think that could be beneficial for you. David says, hi Dan, would you pick Zabani over Senesi given his yellow card issue? Definitely understand that. Yeah, a few people kind of mentioned, okay, there's some other, there is a couple of other Bournemouth defenders. Kirkes is another one. In fact, let's go on, let's do it this way. So let's go, because I do want to demonstrate the fact that it's about attacking potential and bonus point potential, which is, well, particularly attacking threat potential, whereby it is kind of chalk and cheese in many ways between these defenders. So let's just go like, I don't know, expected points. So you can see that over the last 10, 11 game weeks, in fact, let's go per start because Sabani's actually played one more game. So per start, you can see that, actually, well, we can go full season to be fair. You can see that Senesi has a greater attacking threat. With, well, over double more expected goals, and it's significantly more expected assists as well. So if we're looking for those set piece goals, maybe assists, then Senesi is far superior to Zabani to the degree where I would rather go for Senesi, even if there is a slight risk of that yellow card suspension. I think that the upside is just there. I would just go for Senesi there instead. Kirkes, people have mentioned as well. Would you even say that Kirkes is 100% nailed on? Let's have a look to see if he plays every game, because I'm sure I've seen him kind of miss the odd game. Not sure if that was injury related or something like that. Oh yeah, well there you go. So he started last game, but against Newcastle he didn't start. Only 45 minutes against Fulham. Forest 7 minutes. West Ham 12 minutes. Played most of the time before that, but again, I'm assuming he was at least fit and available during this period. He still missed the odd game, so I would not take the risk on Kirkes. Even though I do think he, has a little decent amount of attacking threat, but he's no Senesi. Senesi is just the one. If you're going for a defender, I know it's risky. It sounds risky, but he's the one. Nice fixtures as well. Good chance of a game week 34 double. Decent fixtures after the blank in 29. And, the defensive numbers for Bournemouth are genuinely not that bad. I'll show you that again, guys. I've shown this before, but I will do it again. And then we've got a couple of super chats to whiz through. But, yeah, just to give an idea of why I do like Senesi a little bit more. So, non-penalty expected goals against. We'll go... Don't want to do the whole season because I think that's a little bit too much. But let's go 10 game week period. So, over a 10 game week period, we'll go per appearance. Non-penalty expected goals against, we see Bournemouth sitting at the 3rd best defence in the Premier League. That's pretty crazy. It's probably not what you expected to see either. Bournemouth actually is tracking with slightly better defensive numbers than Liverpool, Chelsea, Everton, Brighton, Aston Villa. Some of these defences that you think are quite strong. Or strongish. Bournemouth's numbers actually is slightly better, which is really, really nice. Expected clean sheets, they are 4th, I think, or 4th or 5th. No, 6th. 6th for expected clean sheets as well. Close to Forest and Brighton, who are just above them. So, yeah, good defensive numbers. Senesi poses a decent amount of attacking threat. He scored goals this season. We know that. He's the main guy from those set pieces. So I say, why not? Right, let's catch up on some super chats because I know a few have come in. Tim V says, hi. Oh, my word. It's Tim. It's Tim V again. He says, "Hi, is top 10k good?" No, it's terrible, Tim. You've let your family down, and you will forever be a disappointment in their eyes because you're in a measly top 10k. Of course, guys, I am joking. And for those of you new around here, Tim flexes the fact he's in top 10k in a super chat every week. I mean, I'll take his money, but I don't think any of us believe you anymore, Tim. I don't think anyone believes you're still in the top 10k anymore, my friend. You've taken a -8 this week, which is fun. Which is fun. Harvey says, "Hi, Dan. My mate is called Dan as well. He loves beer and FPL, and it's his birthday." Well, happy birthday, Dan. Enjoy some beer and some FPL. Veer says, "Hi, Dan. Don't want to play PAL, so thinking of doing Hwang and Adebayo to Solanke and a 4.4 million midfielder. All I can afford. Or should I just roll?" I don't think it's that bad. Playing PAL is not the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think you're fine to stick with what you've got. Yanis says, "Is Consa nailed?" For this game week, no. He is very likely to be in the squad, but he's not 100% going to start. Maybe he gets rested this week. So I wish I could tell you that Consa is nailed, but I just don't think he is. I don't think he is. Cablash says, "Who's your favourite footballer?" Well, of all time, Thierry Henry. Right now, it's gotta be Saka, right? Gotta be Saka. CMC says, "Dan, any news on Solanke?" The latest I have is that he trained yesterday, and that, you know, if things look good, then he's in line for a start. The injury that Solanke's been carrying, he's actually been carrying for quite a while now. This is not a new injury. It was just kind of a little bit of a flare up. He went for a scan. No surgery was needed, so good news there. So it's not like a serious issue, but he is touch and go for this weekend. He's going to be, you know, late decision made on him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think if you have Solanke, you probably start him, and you know you could probably hope that he does get a start. To be honest. So good stuff. Ant says, "So many people getting rid of KDB before playing a weak United team and off the back of 4 assists last game." It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? I really don't understand why people are selling KDB, to be honest. Bailey says, "Hey Dan, do you want to get a Chinese with me?" I love Chinese food. Sounds good. What we having? Chicken chow mein for me. That is the goated choice from a Chinese restaurant. Daniel Lance says, "Erdegaard in my wild card for a punt, then Maddison after." I don't think so. I just start with Maddison, save yourself a transfer. Maddison is good for this game week. I think I would stick with Maddison. Erdegaard, you know, good chance of outscoring Maddison this game week, but you save yourself a transfer, and you know it's not like Maddison's a bad choice. Bilbo Baggins says United will batter City 3-0. Okay. Whatever you say. David McCoy says start Solanke or Gordon. There's a few people have said start Solanke or Gordon. I mean, if you have a Gordon on the bench, I'd definitely be tempted to start him. But if I'm honest, if Solanke doesn't start, then I don't think he gets minutes off the bench necessarily. I think if he's either in the starting 11 or not in there at all, probably. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, but so I think the question should more be, if you knew Solanke was going to start, who would you start, Solanke or Gordon? If your answer is Solanke, then you start Solanke. If your answer is Gordon, you start Gordon. That's probably what I would do. Ryan Lynn with a super chat says, "Hi Dan, not sure if someone has asked this, but can you please advise on transfer plans for people who do not have a wild card and how we should build for game week 29 and 34? Have you got a free hit would be my first question. If you do have a free hit, then I would probably, if you are looking at your team and you don't have many players for game week 29, maybe you've only got 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 max, then I would use your free hit in game week 29. Because game week 34, although we have a rough idea of what things could look like, we don't know what things are going to look like for sure. We don't know if it's going to be worth saving the free hit for the game week 34 or not. It could go either way. But the chances are that you know, you look at some of the game week 34 potential fixtures. The double game weeks are likely to be teams like Newcastle and Manchester United at best. Those are kind of going to be the best teams to double in 34. And, you know, they're non-essential players, aren't they? Like, even in a double game week, it's not like we got, you know, like Salahs and Haalands and Sakas having a double game week or anything like that. That's not going to happen in game week 34, realistically. I mean, a small chance of maybe a Saka double game week there, small chance of a Liverpool double game week there, but you know, same with City, but it's so slim. But you know, that's another argument in favour of not free hitting in game week 34. But we don't know, and that's the point. We know what's going on in game week 29. So if you've already wildcarded and you want to navigate 29 and 34, then we have the information about 29. You know what your team looks like for game week 29 already, and you can already make a judgment of whether you are well set up for game week 29 or not. So I would use that free hit. If you don't have a wildcard, I would use that free hit in game week 29. And see what happens after. See what happens. And just hope things swing your way. But even in a worst case scenario, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's essential to use a free hit in game week 34. If you're set up for 29, then 34 is going to be the standout week for a free hit. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a crazy good week to free hit necessarily. So, yeah, that would be my advice for anyone who doesn't have a wildcard right now. See if you can navigate game week 29 without the use of a free hit. If you need to use it, just use it. And it's going to be absolutely fine to do so. Going to be absolutely fine to do so. Harvey Dyer says, thanks, that has made his day. Any chance you can say, I said, where's Mango? His name's Dan Mango. Oh, okay. I'm not sure the intonation I meant to say that in, but I say, I said, where's Mango? And hopefully we'll find out where the birthday boy Dan Mango is today. This is going to make absolutely no sense to anyone just joining the stream now. Anyway, back to FPL. Should we bang out the bench list? Should we whip out the bench list for the lads? Get your bench list out for the lads. Get your bench list out for the lads. That's what we'll be doing. Okay. Let's throw some players on here. So, we'll start off with a cheeky little Solanke. I am going to put Palmer ahead of Solanke, but I think I'm going to put Gordon just behind Solanke. We're going to make Solanke yellow so everyone knows he is not guaranteed. And we will move on. I'm going to also let's put like a couple of goalkeepers in here as well that you guys might have. So we'll put Kelleher in there. We'll put Dubravka in there. We'll put Areola in there. We'll put Neto maybe in there as well. Something like that. And you guys can let me know in the chat who you want on the bench list. A couple of shouts for Gross already. Wow, okay. So they face Everton, which I actually don't think is a great fixture. Gross does have some good underlying numbers, but it's kind of a mid fixture. I think I'd rather play Gordon against Wolves. So I'm going to put Gross there, just below some of these other guys. What else have we got? So, you want Pickford in there? Emeka? Alright, Pickford I would probably put here. Are they playing Fulham? Yeah, Brighton are playing Fulham. Sorry, my apologies. Are they playing Everton next week? Is it next week they play Everton? Can't remember now. Everton play... Who did Everton play this week? West Ham. Get my game weeks mixed up, guys. Okay, so yeah, it's a game against Fulham. Do I think that's particularly better? Like, Fulham are kind of a mid team, probably. I think I'd probably rather play Fulham than play Everton. Does that move Gross above Gordon? Maybe the penalty factor takes him above Gordon, you know. Because the penalty factor is big. Gordon won't be on penalties because Isak should probably start. So we're going to throw him in there. Right, let's move on. So, Gusto. We're not going to play Gusto ahead of any of the forwards. Gusto against Brentford this week, away from home. Stupinian. You know, he's not going to go super high. Want Leno on the bench list? Didn't even realise people had Leno. I thought Leno had gone a little bit out of fashion recently. Okay, so Leno at home against Brighton. It's okay, but it's not amazing. You probably still prefer like these kind of guys above Dubravka and Areola, who just concede every game ever. Don't you? Right, Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, I would start ahead of Gross, just. But no higher than that. Senesi, I would start. I don't know if I'd start him ahead of Gusto or not. No. Gusto has more attacking threat from open play. Let's put. Okay, let's throw Senesi in here. Power on the bench list. I'd probably look to start Power ahead of Stupinian, but don't expect a clean sheet. Ike Nori against Newcastle, would not expect any clean sheets there, but I mean, possibly worth playing maybe for his attacking threat. So we'll throw him in here. Conso we'll put next to Powell. Let's just throw them together because they're a similar situation. We don't know if they're going to start for sure. All right, Doughty, I would. Would I play Doughty ahead of these guys? I think I would, but more because of the rotation, the slight rotation risk of Powell and Concert, and then potentially getting like 1 pointers off the bench. That's the only thing putting Doughty above them, I think. Like if I had a Cash, for example, or an Alex Moreno, I'd go above. So I put Alex Moreno possibly above all of these guys, to be fair, because of that attacking threat. Conor Bradley, I would start. Bradley can go there. Trippier. You know what? I'll give Trippier a go this week. You go reasonably high. If you still have him. Still don't think he's a great pick in general, but if you have him, which I do, by the way, somehow. Kyle Walker, I'm going to drop in here, just below Trippier. So there's going to be lots of decisions to be made around defenders this week. Cash, I'm going to put ahead of Doughty, but possibly no higher than that. I think Luton will score, but at least Cash, is going to start, and he has a decent amount of attacking threat as well. Or do we know for sure that Cash is going to start? To be fair, because if Consa comes back in, I guess Power and Consa would have to come back in for Cash to be benched, right? Noel with the super chat says Darwin to Solanke, Hwang to Son, -4, worth it. I'm not sure playing a back four of Saliba, Gabriel, Ake, Walker. Solanke flags, I'm not sure of -4. I mean, those transfers definitely improve your team, and it allows you to play more attackers, which is always a good thing. It sets your team up for future game weeks as well. So I think I would do it. Yeah, I think I would take that -4. Barnslick says, bit of a different question. Challenging myself by not using any Spurs player this season. Shooting myself in the foot, I know. Would you go free hit 29 or wild card before it? Have 4 playing in 29 at the moment. How on earth are you going to do Game Week 29 without Spurs? How? This is not possible. I mean, I don't even know. Like, that's such a unique scenario. I guess free hit in 29. If you only have 4 players and you're not going to buy Spurs players anyway, you're going to need to use a free hit to try and do something magic with some other players. It's going to require a free hit without Spurs players. Yeah, Barnsley, looks like you are going to be free hitting in 29, my friend. Needs to be done. Francisco says 14.2 in the bank. Need 2 nailed midfielders long term. Who? I guess you've only got 14.2 in the bank because you're on the transfer page and you've removed 2 midfielders, maybe. 2 nailed midfielders long term. I don't know who you have already, Francisco. The top midfielders to get at the moment are probably Saka, obviously, Son, Palmer. I mean, can you afford Palmer and Son? Probably not quite. Madison looks pretty good at the moment. Looking at Gameweek 29. I don't think I would buy KDB right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe pick from those players. Saka, Palmer, Son, Madison. If you can get a couple of those players, then I think you're in a good position. Maybe Douglas Luiz if you want to go for someone super cheap. But it's Douglas Luiz long term, possibly not. Elise, I think, is a nice differential, but I'm not convinced of a start this game week. I think he has a chance, but yeah, I think his minutes might be managed a little bit in the short term. Just until we get over that international break. And then I think Eze is going to be, you know, big player. So I guess he is a long term in a way. Gordon? Do you have Gordon? Think about him as well. So there you go. There's a bunch of options for you. I think that works. Scott says, need to replace He-Chan. Only have 5.7 million. Free hit 29. Douglas Luiz or Elanga. Douglas Luiz and Elanga are very much players you would pick if you were going to free hit in 29. In terms of 5.7 million midfielders, if you are not free hitting in 29, there are a couple of options available to you. There really are. Let's go and have a look. 5.7 midfielders. I mean, the guy that's standing out to me straight away is going to be like Tavernier. So, do we need to update this? No, yeah, we do need to. We need to refresh this page. So, game at 27.28. Your budget is 5.7. Maybe that is a little bit cheaper than I thought it was. And we want midfielders only. So Tavernier, yeah, straight at the top. Barkley is up there. I mean, if you don't have Palmer, he is the answer, like 100%. But outside of that, probably Tavernier or Garnacho, possibly a Dingra as well, because he's been in some good form recently. Has okay fixtures in the next two, but they are a little tougher after the break. So, yeah, maybe you could do... What's Tavernier's fixtures like after the break? Pretty decent. Tavernier's risky. He's differential, but his points predictions are there. So if you're not going to go for Palmer and you don't fancy Garnacho either, then maybe Tavernier is going to be the shout for you. That's probably what I would do. Hope that helps, Scott. Super chat from Jakob says Son captain over Saka and Haaland. Interesting. Not sure how I feel about that one. I mean, he's definitely an option, isn't he? But should we throw a poll in? Should see what you guys are saying. Neil Hit says, if I go for the easy strategy, should I go Kelleher for Dubravka or Gabriel for Porro this week? Currently Areola and Taylor starting. I would get Gabriel in as a priority, yeah. Yeah. Pedro Porro out, Gabriel in. I think Gabriel, he's got a goal loading. He's got a goal loading against Sheffield United. This fixture is built for a Gabriel Hall. It really is. This is possibly the one. Clean sheet. Goal against a team that can't defend set pieces. What could go wrong? So, Gabriel's like one of the most essential players in FPL at this moment. Let's do a captain poll. Oh, we've got a super sticker from Vibike Sterling. But it doesn't have a message in it. So I do appreciate that, Vibike. Yeah, if only you had a message for me. Right, let's do a poll. Who is the best Game Week 27 captain? Is it Erling Haaland? Who else can we put in there? Saka, obviously. Son. Or maybe the last one should be other. It's either Watkins or other. Let's go other. So who is the poll's going in, guys. Who is your Game Week 27 captain? Haaland, Saka, Son, or other? Let's see what you got for me. I mean, I'm expecting big numbers on Haaland, but let's see what happens. Pranav with the super chat says, hey Dan, this seems to be a high scoring week. Could be. Should I take a -8 to get Son in? I already have a good playing 11 by getting in Bowen, but Son seems so good. Yeah, I think honestly, I think Son is a little bit of a maybe a content creator / Twitter sphere kind of hype pick at the moment. I don't think you need to get in Son. If you've got a good team without Son, I don't think you need him. If you've got KDB, for example, I think KDB can easily score just as many, if not more, points than Son this game week. So, yeah, so that's an example. You know, if you're taking a -8 to get Son, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's worth that. Like, if you can do it on a free and you're removing a player that you're not massively keen on or you're worried about, then fair enough, go for it. But aside from that, you know, -4s, -8s, we're maybe going a little bit too far. Austin Gold, member for 26 months. That is a crazy amount of time. Thank you so much, Austin, for your support over this time. Right, you guys want Pedro Neto on the bench list? I think I would put him, you know, actually kind of a little bit higher here. Would I even put him... Would I put him here? Against the worst defence in the Premier League, attacking player, I think I'd put him pretty high. Quite like Pedro Neto this week. Neto owners, who went for Neto over Huang, by the way, you guys have absolutely cooked. Well and truly cooked. You really, really have. Right. Let's check in and see how the poll is getting on. So only got, to be fair, 68% Haaland is lower than I expected. 21% Saka, 6% Son, 4% other. Interesting. We'll keep that poll running. See what happens. See where everyone goes with it. Right, Branthwaite and a doggy on the bench list, please. Okie schmokey. So, I need to keep reminding myself what the fixes are. So, Everton play at home against West Ham, which is okay. I think that probably puts Branthwaite at least... Nah, it doesn't put him above cash. It puts him here. Who was the other one? Can't remember. A doggy. A doggy's not guaranteed to start, but I think he possibly will. Has a decent amount of attacking threat. So I think I need to put him in this kind of area. And let's make him yellow. A few more requests for the bench list, so we'll throw them in. So I said about Foden. I would look to start Foden this game week. Bowen on the bench list. Yeah, Bowen is... actually, I'll just make sure we say Pedro Neto. Bowen is, like, okay. But honestly... Do I prefer Gordon to Bowen? I think I do. So I'm going to put Bowen there. Actually, the lowest of the attackers that we've put on there so far. Nathan Ake. Let's put him next to Kyle Walker. Although, to be fair, Ake is he more or less likely to get bench points? Not sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. Any other special requests? Raya. Someone said Raya. By the way, guys, I didn't clock this until like Tuesday. But Raya plays against Brentford next week, which means he's ineligible to play. So Raya only has one more game before he is going to... well, be out for 2 game weeks, basically, and then plays Man City after that. So Raya is actually a pretty bad transfer. If you already have him, then you already have him. Hopefully you've got a decent backup for the next 2 game weeks. But, yeah, Raya is actually, interestingly, not so good over the next 3 weeks. Hopefully I can get this name. Raviot. Ravgiot. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. But anyway, Rav. Can I call you Rav for short? Rav, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Much appreciated. Mucho apreciado, my friend. And by the way, guys, I'm thinking of doing a lot more member benefits from next season because I feel like I want to give you something for, you know, to thank you for supporting my channel. I've always been like trying to avoid paywalling content, but I feel like I've got to give something back to those who support the channel month on month. So I am having to think about and getting some ideas down. We'll see. Courtney says, Dan, I'm thinking of doing Leeds United FPL threads next season if they get promoted. Any tips for first timer for FPL threads? Yeah, I mean, I think people like stats that, you know, that they can't easily just go look up. So if you can find interesting and unique stats that might, you know, influence FPL decisions, if you can think of, you know, some like tactical things as well. Like, for example, if you see a defender that is, you know, getting forward, bombing forward a lot more. If you notice one of the centre backs is the target man for those set pieces, then that's going to be really, really useful information that the FPL community will benefit from. So yeah, if you can provide that kind of information for people, then I'm sure they will be really, really appreciated. But Leeds United got to get promoted first, and good luck to them. I always had a soft spot for Leeds. I do hope they do get promoted back in. Rav it is. Cool. Right, Rav, we got you sorted. Nicknames. We're already at that kind of level of friendship. We've got nicknames going on. To be fair, Dan is my nickname, so you guys always call me by my nickname, so it goes both ways. We're mates. That's the name of the channel. That's what we do. That's what we do here. Right, De Bruyne on the bench list. Oh my word, De Bruyne is going top of the bench list without a shadow. You don't bench him. You don't bench him. Maddison. We could throw in Maddison. I would put Maddison possibly around here. Somewhere like that for Maddison. Pretty high. But I do prefer a De Bruyne, a Palmer, a Foden. Garnacho. I know a few people have Garnacho. Yeah, I would not look to play Garnacho in an ideal world. I would try and bench him if possible. I would even think about playing some of the defenders ahead of him. Maybe just Conor Bradley is probably the only defender I play above Garnacho, but still. We'll put him down there. Taylor. Charlie Taylor. I mean, you don't want to play Taylor, really, do you? Let's put him bottom. Right at the bottom. We've cooked up a pretty nice bench list here. Pretty decent one. Interesting stuff. Should we see if we've... is there any team news or leaks around the ground anywhere yet? I know we've still got an hour till deadline, but you never know what you might find. Let's see here. Not sure. Can't really find anything in terms of team news. Oh well. Oh well. I'm sure something will come up. Any chance we could add Saka and Erdegaard? Oh, come on, man. You don't need me to tell you to play Saka. You do not need me to tell you that information. Konsa is already on the bench list. He's next to Powell. Zinchenko I'm not going to put on the bench list, but I don't think he's going to start. I think Kivior's been playing very well. Probably gets at least one more game. No real need to risk Zinchenko. Although this is the kind of game that you would want a Zinchenko playing, to be fair. This is a kind of Zinchenko game. But would he be rushed back when Kivior's playing well? That's the question. Not sure. Rav says, Kudus seems like a good punt. Yeah, I mean, he could be a... I think, yeah, for sure, Kudus is an interesting punt, but he would be a punt. He'd very much be a punt. And there are, I don't want to say objectively, but there are going to be better options out there. Surely. I mean, even if you're like looking to, let's go back on the points prediction tool for a sec. So even if you are like looking for a midfielder for the next 3 game weeks, like minimum, we're still looking at a lot of players above. So Son, Bowen, Barkley, Maddison. I mean, I probably prefer to take a punt on an Elanga or a Bailey over Kudus if I'm looking to cover 29. Douglas Luiz should probably go for ahead as well. Kudus is on here, but he's not super high on the list. I mean, even Saka's predicted more points than Kudus with one less fixture, which is interesting. There's a real difference between Kudus 12.2 predicted points and like a Son, Bowen, even Barkley. Just because of the extra fixture for Luton Town could make a difference, couldn't it? Could make a difference. Get Solanke. Anyone thinking about transferring in Solanke? I don't think it's as essential as it perhaps was at the start of the week. Bailey for the bench list. The thing is, we're filling up the bench list. I don't really want to waste too many spots on the bench list without, unless they're like heavily owned players. Like heavily owned players. So if I get a few requests for any specific player, I'll put them on. But we're going to be a bit strict with who goes on the bench list. So Andrew, Zabani is not going on the bench list, for example. But you can probably infer that where Senesi is, that Zabani would be in a similar position. I think. Oh, Zab says, what are you going to do this week? Probably going to... probably going to sell Porro to Senesi. Probably. Unless we get any other team news late that changes things. Unleashed says, hey Dan, what jersey are you using today? Looks awesome. Fantastic show. Well, I will gladly show you. And then we will get a couple more players on the bench list because there seems to be some requests. Region seems to be the big request in the chat. We'll put him in a second. Right, the shirt of the day is... This is the hashtag United shirt from last season. Just to give you a full lowdown. You can see there's little like tic-tac-toe, noughts and crosses, or noughts and hash like design on there. Don't know if you can see. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's just a nice shirt. Hummel always make great kits. But yeah, we're rocking with last season's hashtag United shirt today. And now for the bench list, Region. But first of all, a super chat from Mark Consiglio. Mark says, hey Dan, sell Gross to Havertz and He-Chan to Tavernier for -4. No. No, I would not be selling... I wouldn't sell Gross, I don't think. He-Chan to Tavernier or He-Chan to Havertz, however, looks interesting. That's more interesting. Yeah, I like that. Gabriel, captain, worth a shout? No, just Captain Haaland. Richard says, you really think Palmer that ahead of Gordon with Newcastle at home? Yeah. Yeah, Palmer on penalties against a weaker defence. Brentford, you know, their whole back line, Brentford's whole back four is now injured. There is, Henry is obviously injured, Ben Mee, Pinnock, and Aaron Hickey all are injured. Their defence is shot, and it wasn't even doing well before. Brentford really struggling defensively, and now they've lost another, yet more players. So there's going to be a big opportunity for Chelsea. Wolves, I don't think are actually that bad defensively, and I think Wolves will probably fancy themselves to nick a result against Newcastle. On the other hand, Chelsea, I can see some goals. So penalties, Palmer being Palmer. Palmer just is a better FPL asset than Gordon. And I think Palmer is the better fixture as well. So that's what I would go for there. Shrenik says, any chance you can shout out my mate? He loves the show. Yes, I can. Shout out to Harvey Dyer. Thank you very much for watching, Harvey. Appreciate that, my friend. And shout out to your friend Shrenik for getting you the shout out, I guess. Christian with the super chat says, Son for Bowen. Free hitting in Gameweek 29. Was playing Bowen for Salah. Is it worth to have Son in the interim? Love the bits, by the way. Thank you very much, Christian. I would definitely strongly consider it, yeah. If you can do that for free, Bowen out, Son in, I would really, really strongly consider that, yeah. I kind of like it. Kick Your Ass says, thoughts on Luis Diaz captain? I don't think he's better than a Haaland or a Saka or even a Son. So I'm going to say, not that he's a bad pick for this game week, but I would say that there are better options. Right, anyway. I promised Region on the bench list, and that's exactly what we're going to deliver. So, Region. I think he's going to concede goals. So, let's put him... not going to be high. He's really not going to be high. I think he edges some of these players just through set pieces. I'm going to put him here. Yeah. Not very, very high, to be honest. But that will do. James with the super chat says, "Hi Dan, already did Richarlison to Son. Love it. Nice transfer. Should I take a hit to get Solanke? And if so, would you bench Bradley or Trips for him? Cheers. Love the stream." Thank you very much, James. I don't think it's worth a hit. No, I don't think, particularly as we're not 100% sure if Solanke is going to start or not. In a way, maybe the advantage is in your hands. You get to wait one more week before assessing the Solanke situation, which is a good position to be in many ways. So I don't think I'd take the risk for a -4. I think I'd do it for free next game week. And I think you're absolutely fine to, play the likes of Bradley and Trippier this game week as well. So, yeah, James, I think you're sorted. I don't think you need to take that -4. Of course, you never know what's going to happen in football, and if Solanke does start and scores, then you might find yourself regretting that decision. And there is that chance. If you just want to cover yourself, you want to conform to template a little bit more, and you don't want to take a risk, and you want to take a -4, then fair enough. But I don't think it's a must-do kind of transfer. And if you were to make that transfer, I would probably bench Trippier ahead of Bradley. Hopefully that helps. Sam says, "Why is Estupinian so low against Fulham? Doubtful for a start." Absolutely, my friend. Yeah, you can never be sure of an Estupinian start, sadly. But of course, the problem is I want to get an Estupinian leak. But if I'm totally honest with you guys, it's unlikely because Brighton leaks are just impossible. We never get them. They're just like the unleakable team. They really are. They really, really are. Pedro asking about who to bench. I think all of the players you've asked about are on the bench list already. And just for anyone who is new to the stream, just so you know, what you're seeing on screen right now is the bench list. The bench list is basically an order of who's the priority player to start. So if a player is higher on the bench list, you should probably look to start that player. And if they're lower on the bench list, then you would be more inclined to bench them. It's all just my opinion, of course. But, if you're asking a bench-related question, then hopefully the players in question that you have are already on this bench list. All the popular players are already going to be on that list. So hopefully that's going to answer your question. Brad says, even Chelsea are hard to get leaks. Now Mount left. Yeah. I can't remember last time we got a Chelsea leak, to be fair. It's been a while, right? Sam Smith says, wildcard this game week or next, Dan, help. Depends how your team looks this week. If you like your team for this week, then don't wildcard. If you like your team, don't wildcard. If you really do not like your team this week and you feel like you have a lot of problems, then wildcard now. I think that's the way to do it. But if you are wildcard in this game week, you only have 55 minutes to make those wildcard decisions. So yeah, good luck, because that is not a lot of time. It really, really is not a lot of time. All right, we've seen a few people ask about Bailey on the bench list, so we'll throw him on there. I'm going to put Bailey reasonably high this week. I'm going to put him up here. I think Neto just edges him. Or does he? You know what? No, he doesn't. I still think I back Solanke just in case he does start, just ahead of these guys. Because I don't think Solanke is a one-pointer. I think he's either starts or he doesn't play at all. So I'm still going to put Solanke ahead. But Bailey, I would... Yeah, kind of like him. Francisco says Odegaard or Madison and Palmer or DL. Who's DL? D's Lutz. Douglas Luiz. DL is Douglas Luiz. Okay. Odegaard or Madison? So I'll choose Madison over Odegaard. And I'll choose Palmer over Douglas Luiz. Unless you are not free hitting in 29. If you're not free hitting in 29, then you pick Madison and Douglas Luiz. If you are free hitting in 29, then Madison and Palmer I would go for. Adam Cena says, hi Dan, thoughts on transferring Odegaard to Son? I don't know if I love it. I think Odegaard this is a kind of an Erdegaard fixture against Sheffield United. And I don't think it's a Son fixture. Son is great any game, don't get me wrong. But, you know, is Crystal Palace a Son fixture? Not necessarily. Is Sheffield United an Erdegaard fixture? Kind of is. You know, taking set pieces, trying to create and thread the needle, find those little, making those moves, trying to find a little bit of space against a defence that's probably going to, you know, defend deep. Erdegaard's going to be kind of crucial in unlocking that Sheffield United defence. So, I mean, if you were asking me in a straight question, who would I rather have in my team right now, Erdegaard or Son, the answer would be Son. But to make a transfer that seems to be the kind of transfer you might end up regretting, Adam. So, if you have no other, I wouldn't do it for a -4, for example. But I would consider doing it for free as long as there's no other issues in your squad, basically. Masood, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. A few new members today. I really do appreciate you guys. Any of you joining the channel as a member. It helps support the channel. It's very, very cheap. Only 99 of your English pence. It is physically the cheapest YouTube would allow me to make a membership to this channel because, I'm not really giving anything back if I'm honest. So, but if you are a member, I can see your messages more easily and I often read them out. Always say hello to members. Try and answer members' questions as much as I can. And you get emojis. You get custom emojis in the chat. I mean, what more could you want? What more could you want? But yeah, appreciate everyone joining as a member. And if anyone else wants to join as a member, you can do so by clicking the join button that is somewhere on your screen, I would imagine, depending on what device you're using. I mean, if you're watching on TV, any of you guys watching on TV, I guess if you're watching this stream on TV, you wouldn't have access to the chat, would you? Unless you're watching the stream on the TV and maybe have your phone for the chat function in the stream. I don't know. I have done that before, to be fair, and I do like. So I watch all my YouTube pretty much on the TV. I don't know why. I just prefer watching YouTube on TV and streams, to be fair. But then when you want to chat or leave comments, you kind of got to bring up your phone. Richard says he does miss messages sometimes. I do. You are right. I do miss messages sometimes. I do. But I try. Come on, guys. Come on. These deadline streams are very, very busy. It's easier on the strategy streams, actually, when I'm not waffling. Daniel, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. And Daniel, by the way, what a fantastic name you have. But yeah, welcome to the channel membership. Another mate joins the army of mates. David Porter says, hi Dan, I'm planning to take He-Chan, Richarlison and Stupinana out for Son, Bowen and Senesi for a -8. Holy moly. Not playing a chip in week 29. I kind of like that, David. I kind of like that one. Decent stuff. Duncan says, that's exactly what I do, Dan. A brother in arms. You get it. Stream, YouTube, on the TV. Comments on the phone. I have done that a few times when I'm watching streams on the TV. But I'm always usually too busy to watch the streams live. I usually just watch the replays of whatever streams I'm watching. Masood says Van Dijk for the bench list. I would look to play Van Dijk this week. We'll put him up there. Rav says you can turn on the chat option on the TV. Can you? Maybe it's your TV is more advanced than mine, Rav. Maybe because my TV is pretty old. The one that I usually watch YouTube on. Neelahit says, welcome to the Oh, wait, no, he doesn't say that. He's joined as a member. Neelahit, thank you very, very much for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciated. Teddy says, how do I become a member? You can do so, but there should be a join button somewhere. Honestly, I don't know. It should be like a blue button that says join somewhere on your screen. Don't know where it's going to be. Might be on my channel. It might be on the stream page. I think it varies depending on your device. It really does, because everyone always gives a different answer of where the join button is. But yeah, appreciate everyone joining. There is a link in the description. I forgot to put that in. Thank you, Masood. Yeah, there's a link in the description to join as a member as well. But look, guys, don't expect anyone to join as a member. I do appreciate those of you who do join as a member, but it's not expected. And I'm not if I'm totally honest, I'm not really giving too much back. And I don't want you guys to feel ripped off or anything. But I think next season we'll change that. It's raining members today. Sure is. Sure is. I do appreciate it, though. I really, really do. All right. Back to business. Right. Who should we put on the bench list next? I kind of want to do another poll. We've got 45 minutes left of the stream. I kind of want to end this poll. I think we're clear on Haaland captain. Saka is the second best captain. Outside of that, we don't know where we're going. But I want to do a poll. And I have a question for you guys. Would you do KDB out for Son? Wait, would you sell KDB for Son? Because I think a lot of people have that question. Yes, even for a hit. Yes, for free. 50-50 or no. Or just no. All right, let's put this poll in. Okay, there we go. Another member, Finna. Thank you very much, Finna, for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate it. Mucho apreciado. Mucho apreciado. Daniel says, I've wildcarded but don't have a playing keeper in 29. It will cost me a hit to take out a keeper as I want Raya going forward and want Salah. I wouldn't worry about it. I think if you go into Gameweek 29 with a full squad and the goalkeeper's the only player that's missing, then I think you're in a fine scenario. I think you're in a fine situation. A few people actually have asked about Darwin to go on the bench list by now, so we can do that. So Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez. He's going on the bench list right now. He's been in training this week, so you would think he could start against Nottingham Forest. I'm gonna put him somewhere around here. I'm gonna put him above Doug Luiz. Hope you enjoyed my singing. Almost speaking English. Adam, thank you very much for becoming a member. Oh my word, the members are going crazy this week. Thank you. Finna becoming a member as well. I don't know if I saw. Did I mention that already? Maybe I mentioned that already, but Finna, thank you very much for becoming a member. Adam, thank you for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you guys. Do appreciate you guys. There we go. Right. Is there any other players who desperately need to go on the bench list? I think we're pretty much blessed. Warwick Scott with a super chat says, do I sell Richarlison for -4 for Maddison or Bowen? I think I would go for Maddison of the two. Finna says, it's the least we can do with all the entertainment and advice you give. And then the orange squash you've gone for. Or is that... Some people think that's a beer. It's meant to be an orange squash. It looks like a beer, doesn't it? Like a pale ale, maybe. But yeah, thank you very much, Finn. I do appreciate it, my friend. CMC Wookie says, start one, Gusto, Walker, Dawson. Please explain why. I would start Walker because I think he has the best chance of a clean sheet. Dawson, I can't see Wolves keeping a clean sheet. I mean, it could happen. Anything can happen in football. But honestly, Newcastle are a strong attack, even if they are a weak defence. And, you know, I wouldn't play Dawson. I think I play Walker for the highest potential of a clean sheet. Though Gusto should definitely be appreciated for his attacking threat as well. It would be between Gusto and Walker. Walker seems more sensible. Gusto is a little bit ballsier. So, depends on your mood in many ways. Leo Williams. Not sure how to say your name exactly, my friend. But thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Another one to join the gang. Man alive. Frederick says, where's the poll? Is it not on screen for you? I think it is. We've got 500 votes in it already, so it is up there. Jim Kehoe says Kelleher and Kaminsky or Raya and Kelleher. Bear in mind, Raya can't play next week. Well, Raya won't play 28, won't play 29, and plays Man City in 30. And Kelleher is good this week, but plays Man City in 29. No, Man City in 28 and doesn't have a fixture in 29. So the Raya and Kelleher combo I don't think really works, because for both Raya and Kelleher, their only good fixture is this game week. Kelleher and Kaminsky, on the other hand, like, you would have Kelleher this week. Kaminsky would come in and play double game week in 28. He has a fixture in 29. And then after that, you're back to Kelleher, playing Kelleher pretty much every week. So I think I prefer the first combo. It's a little bit cheaper as well, Jim. Kelleher and Kaminsky, I prefer that combo of goalkeepers. Yeah, I just think the rotation between Raya and Kelleher doesn't really work. Even though he's obviously playing for a better defense. Does Darwin play? Good point. Let's put him in yellow just to be very clear on that one. That I don't think he's guaranteed to start. Aniket says, is it worth selling Trippier for a -4 hit? If yes, who would be the best defender to replace him with? No, I wouldn't take a hit to remove Trippier this week. Defenders aren't good enough really to be worth taking hits for. I learned that the hard way about a month ago when I bought in a Stupinian for a hit. So yeah. Foden down in price, Son increased. Crazy. Frederick says it was set on top messages and because of that it didn't show. Oh, I don't know why it did that. Hopefully it's back though. Harry's desperate for Tavernier on the bench list, so let's do you a solid. Right, Tavernier. If I had him this week, would I play him? Yes, probably, but not super high. He'd be ahead of Garnacho, but that's about it. Really, if you're buying Tavernier, it's not for this game week. He's okay for this game week, don't get me wrong, but you play him ahead of your defenders. But he's for next game week, really. It's a punt, isn't it, Tavernier? Really is a punt. He's not like a long-term pick at all. He's just a punt for the double game week, really, isn't he? Lucas says, thoughts on Foden to Saka, please? Yeah, I would consider it. Yeah. I think, yeah, to be fair, Saka is so essential. If that's the only way you can get to Saka, then you probably just do it. Bruno Fernandes on the bench list. Bruno Fernandes shouldn't even be in your team. Sell him for Son. John says, which Bournemouth players would you go apart from Solanke, and where's Tavernier on the bench list? Coincidentally, Tavernier's just got on the bench list, not super high. The other players I would really, outside of Solanke, the only serious considerations, like serious considerations for me personally, would be the goalkeeper Neto or Senesi in defence. Outside of that, I'm not massively keen on anyone. So that is where I would go outside of Solanke. There's not a huge amount out there. I don't think this is a double game week that you need to overinvest in necessarily. Solanke just dominates the numbers for Bournemouth. He really does. There's no one else who even really comes close. Tavernier is the closest second place in terms of attacking numbers. But even here, he is like a little while off Solanke. So, yeah, I don't know if Bournemouth are actually a huge team for FPL outside of that one player. Odds on Solanke starting, I would put Solanke at like 70% starting at this point. Maybe that's a little high. Let's go 60%. I think Solanke is more likely to start than not start at this point. Is Senesi yellow card, 8 yellow cards a concern? If it's a concern for you, then it's a concern for you. For me personally, I don't really take too much notice to these things. I mean, if we're constantly worried about potential yellow cards, potential injuries, then you're not playing what's in front of you. Right now, Senesi is not suspended. If he is suspended, he's the kind of player you can rotate with another defender anyway. It's not really a big deal. The only big deal would be if Senesi literally gets 2 yellow cards in his next 2 games. That would be the only way a problem comes up. Outside of that, you can probably cover it very easily. And what are the chances? Really? I don't know. Come on now. Masood says, suggestions for Hecham replacement. Already owns Saka, KDB, Foden, Sarabia. Palmer. Unless you are not free hitting in Game Week 29, in which case Douglas Luiz or a Bailey. Probably maybe Bailey. I don't know. Douglas Luiz. More nailed. Do you think Solanke will start? I'm leaning towards yes, but I'm far from certain. KDB to Saka. No, I don't know if I'd do that, Mrs. Sweetie. I don't think I'd do that. Foden to Son. Maybe. Not super confident about that one. People want Tony on the bench list. We can chuck him in there. Penalty factor, of course. I think I would drop him beneath Bailey and Pedro Neto, though. Yeah. Right. Dan Burn for the bench list. I'm not going to put him on the bench list because nobody owns him, but he would go pretty much at the bottom. I don't even know if he's guaranteed to start. Brother, why you've refused to put Ivan Toney, man? Ivan Toney. I put him on now. Yeah, it's just not that many people requested him. But he's on now. Right, a couple more super chats. Matt says, can you keep 2 free transfers if you free hit? No, you cannot. Yeah, they'll disappear. Anthony, thank you very much for becoming a member. Anthony Stevens, yet another member to the channel. Very, very much appreciated. Will says, KDB, Foden and Hwang to Palmer, Bowen and Son. Wildcard. If you're on a wildcard, then I guess so. I don't think I would sell KDB or Foden ideally, unless you're on a wild card, because I think they're good for this game week. I really do. I'm just trying to get Mrs. FPL Mate to do her team. She never does her team without my permission. She has to run things past me first. Dig VJ says start Gross or Douglas Luiz. I think both of those players are on the bench list, and I've put Douglas Luiz marginally ahead of Gross. So it's a close one, but I put Douglas Luiz just ahead. Daniel says, sorry, panicking on wildcard. Who's the best Aston Villa defender, Konsa or Powell? Probably Konsa. But, I mean, it's close. Duncan says you can't use your transfers and then activate your free hit either. Yeah, and that's a crucial one. People always get caught up by that one, no matter what happens. Yeah. So if you free hit, your free hit counts as your transfer. So any transfer you make before... All right, so say the game week 26 deadline is passed. You're preparing for the game week 27 deadline. If you use a transfer and then make a free hit, then your free hit will wipe out the transfer you made. So free hit wipes out any transfers you make prior to hitting the free hit button during that game week deadline. And also, if you have two free transfers, but then you free hit, the game week after you free hit, you'll be back to 1 free transfer. So it wipes out any transfers you make during that game week, and it also wipes out any free transfers you have banked. Which is definitely something to consider when free hitting. Make sure you use those transfers the game week prior to free hitting to prepare yourself for the game week after, potentially. Michael says if Solanke is 60% to start, shouldn't he be higher than Palmer on the bench list? No, I don't think so. Because I think Palmer is a really good pick for this game week. Really good pick. I think Palmer is like a sleeper captain option for this game week. I really do. If you wanted to go super differential, which I'm not going to recommend, but if you really did want to, I think Palmer is, a potential haul coming. Dusty says, love the channel, Dan. Currently going with my gut and captaining Saka versus Haaland, but how much of a risk do you think I'm taking? I don't think you're taking as much of a risk as maybe you think. I think when we've done the polls and stuff like that, when we did the experts captain numbers, Saka's tracking around 20 to 25% captaincy rate, which is significant. And Haaland is more like 60 to 75%, maybe 60 to 80%. So, yeah, I mean, Saka is it's obviously it's a risk, but I don't think it's a super huge risk. when you're going against other players, I guess. Joyesh says, start one, bench one, Joe Gomez and a Estupinian, or should I take a -4? I guess start Joe Gomez and hope he starts. Frost says, I'm top 2k thanks to your Nori shout, Dan. Thanks. No problem at all. Yeah, he just looked like the best defender to bring in last game week. Why is Doughty above the Aston Villa defence? Because of the rotation risk for those for Pau Torres and Concert coming back in from injury. They're not guaranteed starts, and I think that's the only difference. I think both teams will concede, but Doughty also has a little bit of attacking threat there as well. So that's the reason that I would go for that. I would lean that way. Thomas says, Dan, super chat, please. Oh, did I miss a super chat from you, Thomas? Oh, I did. I'm so sorry, Thomas. I think because a whole bunch came in all at the same time. I actually missed that one. But yes, a Stupinian to Senesi for a -4. Don't think I'd do it for a -4, no. Walker, Region, and Gabriel start. Yeah, I'd probably stick with that. I think I would stick with that. Although I would be tempted to try a Stupinian ahead of Region. It's a risk, but still. Yeah, sorry, Thomas. I don't think I would take that -4 now. Not for me. Okay. We've got 30 minutes until deadline. In terms of any team news, it doesn't look like we've got anyone or anything at the moment. Of course, we'll keep an eye on it. You would have thought we'd maybe get some Liverpool news. I have a feeling we'll get some Liverpool team news in the next 15-20 minutes. We'll see. We'll see. Robertson's not going on the bench list, unfortunately, because nobody owns him. If you have him, you start him, though. Pretty simple. If you have him, you start him, but he's not going on the bench list. Great channel, Dan. Thanks, mate. Same as Leo. My name, but okay, Leo Williams. Got you, my friend. Thank you very much for the clarification there. Ranvir says, would you sell Foden for Son and keep KDB? I would rather keep KDB than Foden, yeah. I don't think Foden to Son is an essential transfer. I don't think it's that much of a upgrade. But it is an upgrade. It could go either way, but it's more likely to go Son's way. I certainly wouldn't do it for a -4. But yeah, Foden to Son for free, I would consider it. If you have no other issues with your team, I would consider it. Why is my phone going nuts? Alrighty, hi. Continuing on. Start Palmer or Luis Diaz? You start both, Josh. You start both. Bench someone else. Why isn't Alvarez on the list? Do we really need Julian Alvarez? I can't believe people still own him. Got to be sold at some point, surely. I don't think he's going to start. But in case he does, I guess you have to put him somewhere. He would be low. He would be low. Ahead of the defenders, maybe. Although, would he even be... I think I'd actually rather play Liverpool defenders ahead of him. Genuinely. Something like that. Madison or Solanke to start. Madison first sub, obviously. It's close. They're both on the bench list, though. But it is close. Flip a coin for that one if you need to. Michael says, is being able to field 8 players for the blank game week, including free transfer, coming up okay? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, as long as you've got the main attackers. As long as you've got Watkins, Son... Maybe another Spurs attacker like Madison. I think you're pretty much blessed. If your 8 players are like Areola, Taylor, Pedro Porro, Consa, like just all defenders pretty much. Or, yeah, maybe something like that. Then no. But, yeah, if you've got the big attackers, I think you're fine. Jason says, why is everyone selling KDB? Because I I think some content creators are buying Son, and that makes Son very hyped. Son is just a hype pick. He really is the hype pick. I mean, I understand why, don't get me wrong, he is a good pick, but he is being overhyped, and I think people are going to great lengths to get in Son when it's maybe not worthwhile. You know, if you're starting to take hits for Son, if you're starting to sell KDB for Son, then at that point, I don't know if it's worth it. We have got a poll, though, that says, would you sell KDB for Son? Majority of people are saying yes. I think that's wrong. But I guess we'll see. I'm going to end the poll anyway. But yeah, just to conclude that KDB for Son poll. So 18% of people would sell KDB for Son even for a hit. 26% would sell KDB for Son, but only for free. 90% are 50-50, and 37% are saying just no. But knowing how many people are buying Son this week, I suspect there is some bias there. But maybe there's bias on my end because I'm not doing it. But I can do it if I want to. But I'm not going to. I don't know. Cena says Trippier, KDB, Gordon to Zabrani, Saka, Son from -8. I don't love it. No. I don't love it. I think that could be the kind of move that you really regret. I think including the -8, Trippier and KDB and Gordon have a good chance of outscoring the latter three. So I don't think I would do that. No. I mean, but if you really, really want to do it, go for it. But I'm not super keen. Not super keen. Any news on Solanke? I mean, I'll repeat what I said earlier. Solanke's injury is neither new nor serious, and apparently he's trained now. So, sounds like good news. Laser Sharp says, hi Dan, who do you think will win the league? Watkins captain for me this week. I low-key like the Watkins captaincy shout. I do actually like it. I think that's a fun one. I think that's very much a fun one. In terms of who will win the league, I'm gonna say Arsenal. I'm saying Arsenal. I don't know if that will actually happen. Maybe I'm speaking with my heart a little bit there. But, yeah, we'll go with Arsenal. Just keeping an eye on some leaks for you guys. Can't find anything I trust. Right. Masood says, do you think Saliba to Gabriel is a priority move after Gameweek 29? Absolutely not. It's pretty sideways, to be honest. Will Emerson stay in the starting 11 after Creswell's back? Yeah, possibly. Possibly. I don't know if Creswell will be rushed straight back in. Is Bowen back, or is 3 goals against a weak Brentford defence a potential trap? Bowen is for sure a potential trap. I don't know if... We'll see how it actually pans out, but he definitely has the potential of being a trap, yeah. Because think how bad he's been for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, maybe even months before that hat-trick. Does that hat-trick change everything? For some people, yes, it's the start of form. But for other people, it's the exception. Nemanja says, how do you like the Havertz punt? It's okay. I don't like it that much, to be honest. I think it was Thomas Partey coming back to the Arsenal team as well. Havertz's minutes will probably be reduced. Probably. Do I bench Foden, Gross, or Tony? I think all of them are on the bench list, so you can have a look there, Ahmed. Goalkeeper transfer, Kelleher and Neto or Kaminsky? Neto. Neto is better keeper choice than Kaminsky. The manager says, any info about Pedro Porro? Pedro Porro is just injured. Yeah, he's not going to play this week. He might be back next week. Probably looks good for Gameweek 29, but he's still injured. Leo says, Dan, you're a fellow Arsenal mate, aren't you? I am indeed. I am indeed. Arsenal midfielders apart from Saka. I mean, Martinelli and Ødegaard. Choose your poison. Neither of them are fantastic FPL options in the long term, though. KDB starts, surely. Yeah, I think KDB starts. I don't really see a world in which De Bruyne does not start this game week. And this is his kind of fixture as well. Can I put Rice on the list? No, sorry, Julie. I can't do that for you. I can't do that for you. He's too differential. Is Mrs. FPL Mate's team ranked higher than your team? No, definitely not. And it never will be. The day that happens, she can have the channel. She can run the channel for a week. Until I catch up again. Kivior, I mean, if you have him, you probably play him. Is He-Chan to Son for a free good transfer? Yeah, He-Chan to Son is like the most obvious transfer you will make in your life. If you can afford to do He-Chan straight to Son or Richarlison straight to Son, you just do it. You don't even think about it. You just do it. No thoughts needed at all. Is Gordon on pens? No, not with Isak back. He will be off pens again. He-Chan to Son is probably worth it even for a hit. I would really do He-Chan to Son if I could. I can't afford it personally. I think people are going to be in two camps this game week. They're going to be in camp Son or camp KDB. You can have one player or the other. But I think very few people will have both. Because I already have KDB and I'm not selling him for Son, I'm team KDB. Which is fun, you know. It really is. He-Chan to Son or KDB. Yeah, if you're selling He-Chan, you're going to Son. It's like, yeah, it's like a slam dunk transfer. It's so easy. You don't need to think about it. Any Liverpool team news? Not yet, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping we will get there soon. Daniel says Jesus will affect Havertz minutes. Yeah. Jesus, Trossard, he's good form. Partey coming back. So many players will affect Havertz's minutes. Basmi says bench Douglas Luiz or Havertz this week. I would be tempted to play Havertz this week. I don't think he's guaranteed to start, though. I don't think he's guaranteed. That's a tough one. But if you have Havertz, then... If you have Havertz, then surely you've bought him. If you're not going to play Havertz this game week, then when are you ever going to play him? I guess never. Yeah, I just don't really rate Havertz that much as a pick. But I guess if you have him, you bought him to play him this week, right? So I guess you do it. Masood says, thanks so much, Dan. Started watching your channel this season and went from almost dead last in my mini league to competing for top 3. Sending love from South Africa. That's amazing to hear. That's exactly what we love. Anyone asking for early team news? You will know about it as soon as I know about it. I mean, I'm checking pretty constantly. However, it's looking pretty barren at the moment. Senior Red Card says, just came back from the Sydney Derby, ready for English football. Very nice indeed. Who's the Sydney Derby? Is that... I can't even remember what the Sydney teams are. Is there a Sydney City? Is there like a Western Sydney FC or something like that? Is that, I don't know. Let me know, Australians. Who plays in the Sydney Derby? Or is that even not even, it might not even be football. Or soccer, as they say in Australia. They say soccer in Australia? Yeah, I think so. Because football means something else. It means Aussie rules. Anyway. Is there any more polls worth doing? Any big questions that you think need answering that is going to apply to a lot of people this week that maybe we could do a poll for? Because we've got 20 minutes left. Anyone asking about selling KDB to Son, I would not do it. I'm going to put that one out there. Yeah, it's just not the one. KDB to Son is just not the one for me. Sid Richards says, Richarlison to Son or Stupinian to Gabriel, going to wildcard in game at 28. Ooh, I guess Richarlison to Son to get the extra attacker. Yash captaincy poll is done. Yes, Haaland was at like 65%, Saka at 20%. Right, Kyle says football fans call it football in Australia. Everyone else calls it soccer. Okay, so it's like you know, someone is like has an exquisite taste. You know, they're a distinguished and a cultured gentleman in the art of football if they call it football. It's like when Americans call European football or association football, then you know that American is you know, they've got the football brain. When they call it soccer, you never quite know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get, but you can tell they're cultured when they call it football. I love it. MR says bench Palmer, Solanke, or Maddison. I think all three are on the bench list. Is Maddison on the bench list? Yeah, he is. All three are on the bench list, so yeah, you can check that one out. Watkins captain. Like, Watkins extreme differential captain. Yeah, fine. The Sydney derby is Sydney Wanderers versus Sydney FC. No, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Sydney FC. Okay. Now we know. Sexy Beast says a true Aussie bloke is a true Aussie mate. Knows it football, mate. I don't understand what sentence means. But I'm sure, Sexy Beast, you are a true Aussie bloke. Bloody oath, mate. Bloody oath. Right. Jeremy says, why do US Asians call their football when they use their hands 99% of the time? It should be called hand egg, shouldn't it? That's a classic. Martinius says Trippier to Saliba and Senesi for Stupinian for -4. Why do I do that? No. Wait, what? Oh, wait. So it's Trippier to Saliba and Senesi. Right, I get it, because you've got one of these back to front. So you're basically saying Trippier and a Stupinian to Saliba and Senesi, right? I don't think I'd do that. I'd probably do one of them. I would just do a Stupinian to Senesi. I think that's the way. Solanke on the bench list. Solanke's already on the bench list for us today, which is good. Ibrahim says, Dan, please tell me your opinion. What about Van Dijk to Senesi? Just no. Just no. And Hwang to Son. Oh, okay, so it'll be to fund it. Oh, if it's to fund it, then yeah, I would do it. Daniel McFeely says, do you and Andy have beef? I don't think so. I just don't think he particularly likes, cares about me. I don't know. It's like I mean, he's a huge deal in the FPL community. Do you care about the ants you walk past in your garden every day? No, you do not. He's just not interested in me at all, which is completely fair enough. Masood says, poll for Chipsby News. It played in Gameweek 21. Could do. I don't think that's really... I don't think it's a last-minute decisions kind of poll, though, so I think we'll leave that one for now. Gabriel on the bench list. Sam, Gabriel is, like, #1 of all defenders. You absolutely played him. Oh, Sexy said I butchered your sentence. Okay, let's try this again. A true Aussie bloke knows it's football and not soccer. As you can tell, I am a true Aussie bloke. True Aussie bloke, mate. Right, got another super chat here from Nadish. Says play Tony or bring medicine and play medicine for free. Play Tony. Don't bench Tony. He's a bloody great striker at a soccer ball. Edison bench list? Alright. Let's throw him in. There's always loads of room on the goalkeepers. Let's put Edison in. I'm going to put him like here. Senior Red Car says, Dan, is this the week to remove Anthony? My friend, the week to remove Anthony was when you were selecting your team in Game Week 1. It has never been the week to to not sell Anthony. Okie schmokey. So Darwin is on the bench. Darwin bench, confirmed, guys. Which means we need to move him. All the way down, 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 down. I'm actually going to get demonetized if I sing songs. Let's put him all the way down there. In fact, you probably even play some of the defenders ahead of him. But he could, like, come off the bench. Potentially. You know, he has got points off the bench before. Do we bump him up? Nah, you know what? I'm going to leave him there. Typically, you would want to bench a player who's benched, right? Matt says, trips to Senesi or Consa bench if Solanke no play. I don't think I would do that transfer move, no. Joey says, De Bruyne to Saka from -4. No. No, I don't think so. It would be nice to have Saka, but I don't think I'd do that. Just going to throw it on the ticker that Darwin is benched. I think that works. Linus says, appreciate all the videos this past week, Dan. Much love. Yeah, man, like 4 videos in, I think it was 38 hours. 4 videos uploaded in 38 hours, which is absolutely crazy. They're all like full-length videos. I just chose not to sleep and upload content instead. The game's the game. The game's the game. It's his job. That wasn't Irish. It's his job. Right, anyway. Linus says, need to chase rank. Should I go Son, Watkins, or Saka captain? I would go... I would go Watkins. I would go Watkins. I think Watkins is genuinely my second favourite captain this week. Yanis says, are we overlooking West Ham defenders? Who to take? No, we really are not overlooking West Ham defenders. They are appalling defensively. I think only Newcastle are putting up worse defensive numbers at the moment. It's pretty bad. So we're certainly not overlooking them. I should probably make a transfer, shouldn't I, guys? Show Team Gang. Should we reward you with for your loyalty, or should we just make a transfer like behind the scenes? I mean, you guys already know what I'm going to do, let's be honest. Because I don't think we're going to get the team news that I'm after, sadly. We'll load up the transfer. We'll load up the transfer, and I'm going to set an alarm for... I'm going to set an alarm on my phone for, like, what, 7 minutes? A timer. Yeah, I'm going to set a 6-minute timer. There we go. And then I'll lock that in if... to remind myself to make this transfer if we don't get any news. Kieran says, look after yourself. I look after you guys first, then I'll look after myself. There we go. Right. Any final questions, guys? Any final dilemmas? Because we are super, super close to the deadline now. I don't think I see anything too important. All the players out for Liverpool, and Darwin is still benched. Yeah, I know, crazy. Leo says, sorry, but I think Dan's channel is the best on YouTube, hands down, as most fun. I really appreciate that, Leo. I really do. I mean, look, different people are going to have their preferences, and that's absolutely fine. But at least, if I'm a few people's favourites, then that's good enough for me. That really is good enough for me. But there's loads of great FPL channels out there. There really, really is some great FPL channels out there. I'm just happy I'm still here competing, because there really is so much. Just happy to be here. Solanke is the dilemma. I don't know if he is. I think you've got to just go with him. I think you just got to go with him. You probably start him. Unless you've got a stacked bench, you probably just start Solanke and hope for the best. And, you know, things will probably look good. Which is interesting. I'm going to continue to look for some team news as we approach the deadline. Let's see. Okay, Solanke has travelled. So that's more positive news. So he's travelled with the squad. Yep. So we've got... Okay, so the news we have so far is that Solanke has travelled and Darwin is benched. That's our early team news so far. That's all we got. That's all we got at the moment. Masood says, Dan's channel has so much going for it. I like the theme and the format of all your videos, especially the 100 Experts videos. Yeah, I love the 100 Experts videos. I really, really do. They are like, I don't know. They should be boring to make because it's just a lot of data entry. But I actually enjoy them. One of my favourite videos. Probably my favourite video to make each week. Genuinely. Iklas says, you're my favourite. I love the phone joke, Dan. Maybe we should do a quick phone joke at the end of the stream. I need to get some more props. Need to get some more props. for an FPL channel, by the way, guys. Buying props. What's going on? Oh, dear. Rafa says, Muniz to Hall versus Bryson. Remember this. All right, Rafa. I will remember. I'll remember. Let's see what happens. Imagine if Brozier starts now. Aaron, thank you very much for your kind words. I do appreciate it. I don't want to keep reading out like this complimentary stuff though. I don't want to gas myself up too much here. But anytime someone says something nice, I read it. I really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. We'll perhaps we can talk about some like non-FPL related stuff after the deadline, or maybe like channel related stuff. Let's just 6 or 7 minutes. Let's stick to FPL because we are getting close to the deadline. Yes, we are. Yes, we bloody are. Right. Bench list is on screen, isn't it? So I think we've got most of the big things there. Issam asked about Lamptey. Yeah, Lamptey's injury is not bad. It's not bad. So, yeah, we expect Lamptey comes back into the team. So, does that have an impact on Estupinian? Yeah, probably. Probably bad news for Estupinian that Lamptey is looking a little bit better. Ishank says, hey, Dan, would you do a -4 for Darwin to Solanke? Thanks. I think at this point, now we know that Darwin is benched, I think I would strongly consider it. It's going to be a transfer you make next game week anyway. I think it is worth it. At this point, I think it's worth it. I really do. Kelleher or Martinez? I would play Kelleher over Martinez this game week. T-Smasher says, just read the chat. I'm reading all right, my friend. I'm reading. Amir says, who to pick from Liverpool youngsters? No one. No one. Yeah. This game week's okay, but then we've got Man City and then a blank. You probably wait until just the main Liverpool players come back after the international break in game week 30 before we go in on Liverpool. You know, even Kelleher, who looks good for slightly longer term, more longer term than we expected, we'd probably wait. Unless you're on a wild card, you'd probably wait. Is Solanke fit? I mean, no player is ever fully fit. But look, it looks interesting. Looks interesting. James says, Dan doesn't like my question because he's making the same transfer. I don't know. I didn't see your chat the first time. Let's see. Let's see. Son captain or Saka captain? I think Saka is the popular one, right? Daniel Tan, your captain options in order. Okay, so my personal favourites go Haaland, Watkins, Son, Saka, Palmer. That's 5. Oh, and that's my alarm. I don't know about you guys, but do you just not find that noise so jarring? But it's like jarring in a good way because it wakes you up in the morning. The iPhone Apple alarm noise. It's just like fantastically jarring. But with that alarm, I will be locking in my transfer. You guys already know. True FPL mates already know what I'm doing. Save my team, set my captain, and we are good to go. Love it. Love it. Is Alvarez starting? I would not be. By the way, we do not know. The Man City team has not been set yet, so we don't actually know. We won't get any leaks about Man City because it's just too far away tomorrow. But if I had to guess, I would say that Alvarez's chances of starting are not super high. I don't think it looks particularly good for him because I think KDB comes in and plays like straight up. I don't see how KDB wouldn't start. I really don't. This is the exact kind of games that you need him for. These big derby games. He's that big game player. It's perfect for him. Start Doughty or Stupinian. I think both players are on the bench list, my friend. Dunk or Senesi, please, Dan. Screw it. Let's say Senesi. Let's say Senesi. Haaland to Alvarez. We sell Haaland and buy an Alvarez. Crazy. You think that's my transfer? You think I sold Haaland and bought Alvarez? Let's see. Captain poll is already done. And Haaland was way out in front with Saka in second. Show Team Gang has joined the chat. Welcome, Show Team Gang. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Colwill on the bench list. I guess you maybe play him. He's kind of like, if you have him, he's okay, but you don't expect points from him, really. James says, we definitely made the same transfer. Stupinian to Senesi and Hechan to Madison for -4. I can tell you for certainty, James, I'm not making that transfer. I can tell you that for sure. McDonald's or Burger King? I prefer McDonald's, but we'll save the non-FPL chat for after the deadline. We have to save it for after the deadline. We've got, what, 1.5 minutes left? Masood says, Dan, when do you usually do live streams? So I usually do a live stream before the deadline, before the FPL deadline, like today. If it's like early in the morning in the UK, I usually only stream for an hour. But if it's slightly later or in the evening, then I'll stream for more like 2 hours. Well, maybe even more, because to be fair, I always go after the deadline. So I go beyond the deadline. So really it's like 2 hours before deadline and then half an hour after. Or 1 hour before deadline and half an hour after. And then I also stream on Mondays. After the Monday night games fixtures take place, I stream then as well. After Monday night games. Or maybe just in general in the evenings on a Monday. I do enjoy a Monday stream. So we do 2 streams a week. Ooh, Jeremy reckons Purvis has gone out. Is that right? Finos is going with Watkins captain. No turning back now. Amen, brother. We are so close. To deadline. With seconds on the clock. So I'm going to do a quick check of my own team to make sure it's looking good. Yes, sir. All right. Guys, I'm removing the bench list. Guys, take your final look at the bench list. Because it's going. It's gone. There we go. That is my team. Show Team Gang. I literally said I was going to make this transfer, to be fair. James just joined the Show Team Gang. I literally said what my transfers were going to be in my video. When did I upload this? Thursday team selection video? Yeah, it's the same transfer. Pedro Porro out, Senesi in, and the deadline has passed. Deadline has passed, guys. We are locked in. This week, I don't know. I've got a good feeling about this week. Not necessarily for my team, but I think this is going to be. I think this is genuinely could be a high scoring week. I think we could see some scores in the 80s and 90s this week. Because there's a lot of decent players with favourable fixtures. We just need the defenders to, pull something out. But I can't really see the defenders doing too much, to be totally honest with you guys. Bear with me. I'm just receiving a phone call, however. Hello? Kevin. Kevin, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Okay, all right. That's interesting. That's interesting information. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, will I see you at squash on Tuesday? Top man, top man. I'll see you there. All right. Bye bye, my friend. That was Kevin De Bruyne. He said he's outscoring Heung-min Son this week. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just what he said. He said, KDB said he's outscoring Son this week. I don't know. I'm just putting that information out there for you guys. What you want to make of that is up to you. But, you know, no. He'll, if he's wrong, then don't blame me. Blame Kevin. When I see him at squash on Tuesday. Oh. Yeah. B says it's Dan, short for Dan Juma. No, it's not. Clicker says that is a fake phone. What? This is real. What you fake phone? If this is a fake phone, what is this? It's an antenna. The fake phones have antenna. How is it gonna pick up the signal from the sky without an antenna? It's real. Buttons, you know. It even says right there, portable phone. And I just took a phone call on it. So that's the biggest proof. The biggest proof you need. What more proof do we need? What more proof do you need? I love the phone emojis. People know about the phone emojis. They really do. By the way, that picture, you know the emoji with the phone that members will have? It is literally, like, you guys will be able to see it. The emoji is literally the same phone. It is literally a picture of this phone cut out and turned into an emoji. The same one. That is the dedication to the cause. Dedication. Crossinnos says, I love your little fairy lights in the background. Not fairy lights. They are masculine, manly lights. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Fairy lights. These are the manliest lights you will ever see. No, they're actually just Christmas lights that I put up in 2022. I think I put the Christmas lights up. And I kind of thought, oh, they kind of look cool. I might just leave them. Up. So I did. And that's exactly what I did. There we go. Avnova says, Son blanking KDB hat-trick of assists. We will be there. We will be there. We really, really will. 99 woodcut RuneScape Geek. Have I got that right? 99 woodcutting RuneScape Geek says, is Dan short for Scott Dan? No, it's not. But what I will tell you is that I also have 99 on 99 woodcutting on my my old school RuneScape account. So a brother in arms for the 99 woodcutting. Scott says, so have you activated your wildcard yet? I have not. And I don't think I'm going to either. I think I've changed my strategy. Like I've been kind of like gradually thinking about potentially changing strategy over the last couple of weeks. But now I think I'm on free hit 29 now. I think. We'll see. If we get like some injuries or some new news this week, then, you know, never say never. I'm still open to a wildcard this week, but I don't know. I feel like the free hit might be the one for me. I've definitely got to do something because, like, if you look through my team, especially if you look for it now, like, look how many Game Week 29 players I have playing for Game Week 29. So I've got Watkins, Taylor, and that's it. 2 players. I have 2 players for Game Week 29. And that is by design because I knew I was going to use a chip to navigate 29. But I don't know. Don't know yet. Carter says, is Dan short for Amsterdam? No, it's not short for Amsterdam. But you're getting there. You're getting closer, I'm sure. B says, is Dan short for Denise? No. Again, no. Masu says, Dan, do you play any other games beside FPL, or is it a full-time gig? Well, FPL is certainly a full-time gig, but I do, like, in my spare time, play well, my main game outside of this is Apex Legends. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have played Apex Legends, but it's my jam. But yeah, I play like FC or FIFA as it used to be called. I play Call of Duty a little bit when it comes out. Just like the usual games that anyone plays. It's pretty much. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. Yes, Dan is short for Daniel. Let's just nip that one in the bud. I thought it was pretty obvious. FPL Wasteman says, Dan, what is your favourite game week so far? Definitely Game Week 13. I mean, what a banger that one was. Was it Game Week 13? I can't remember. We got a print on fan prints actually about it, so that will remind me. Where is it? Have you guys seen the new designs on fan prints, by the way? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think I'm gonna get this this Arsenal one. So cool. Of course, if anyone is ordering from fan prints, we've had a few orders over the last 24 hours. If anyone is ordering, make sure you do use code FPL Mate to get 20% off. Anyway, where is this? Where is this? Oh no, that's not the right one. Or is it? Let's find it. Here it is. Oh, Game Week 11. There we go. Oh, this is so class. So it's like a poster that says like everything bad that happened that game week. So that's like Areola with his with his 1 pointer. When Burn got his 1 pointer, Cash got 0 pointer. Doggy and Romero -4 each. Saka blanked. Son 1 pointer. Salah blank. Watkins blank. Alvarez blank. Haaland captain for a 1 pointer. Yeah, that game week was something else. It really, really was. Crazy. Oh, hang on. Ottawa says, which football jersey are you wearing right now? I'll flash it again for the chat. Yeah, hashtag last season. Last season's hashtag United shirt, which is pretty good. Anyway, guys, I was saying before we started the stream that, as we started the stream, that I need some holidaying advice. So obviously we have an international break coming up. Like, it is just it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you don't really get too much of a break when it comes to FPL content. But when you get an international break, you have a possibility of maybe like doing a couple of days away. So I am going on holiday with my wife to a very, very nice place indeed. In the north of... Wait, further north. Go further north. Where can we find it? Where are we? We're going so far north. We are going, in fact, to the... Wait, where is it? I can't find it. Am I still going north? Have I gone too far? Maybe I should just search it. Hang on. There we go. There we are. We're going to northern North Norway to go visit Tromsø. One of the most northernmost like towns in the world. Like, they have so cool. First of all, you can go see the Northern Lights there, which is amazing, which is like a bucket list. Always wanted to go try and see the Northern Lights, so we're going to try and do that whilst we're still in season. And also, they have, and this is something that I find really cool, the northernmost professional football club in the world. How crazy is that? The furthest north football club in the world. Professional football club. Mad. I don't know. I just find these like little like bits of football information. Like, so interesting, like these unique football clubs that are unique for different reasons. So we're gonna go see what it looks like, hopefully see the Northern Lights. I'll go buy a football shirt from the Tromso club shop and have a picture in front of the most north football club in the world. That's like, for me, that's like just like bucket list stuff, man. It really is. But I don't really know too much about Norway. I really don't. It's interesting. I don't really know. Is there other stuff to do? Because I know I want to do the football club. I know I want to see the Northern Lights. Is there anything else to do? Because we're only going for 4 or 5 days, I think. So is there any other things, like anyone from Norway or has visited Tromso in the past, is there anything like you must do when you're in the very, very northern parts of Norway? Or is there any just like tips you would give to someone visiting Norway or, you know, anywhere in Norway really? Because yeah, that's what's going on. Mr. Stigsrud says, do you like hiking? No. I am going there hopefully to do as little as possible. It will be like chilling out. Iklas says, is that where Haaland will play for the international break? No, he's playing in Oslo. I did have a look at potentially going to a Norway international game, but they're playing in Oslo. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. Nordland says, I am Norwegian. You should visit Lofoten. What is that? What on earth is a Lofoten? Is that a place? It's quite far. I don't think that is going to be possible. All right, visit the cathedral. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, the cathedral is called Ishav Skat Dra. Is it that? Ooh. Okay. Oh, Arctic. That looks cool. Oh, that is very cool. That is an architectural marvel. Yes. Okay. Definitely will be doing that. Thank you very much. Ask how they call Haaland. I already know. Haaland. Well, no, Haaland. You don't even really say the D. Haaland. Norwegians will back me up on that one. I'm sure the Grand Tour guys went there. Oh, cool. Oh, what is a Euro Spa? That sounds fun. Is that a shop? Yeah, it is. Oh, we'll be visiting the Euro Spa. Plenty of fresh produce. Ah, you got bananas. Got melons. Some oranges. Oh, wow. Toothbrushes. Toothpaste. Oh, they got everything. Alright, I'll be visiting the Euro Spa. Tromsdalen. Don't you worry about that. Look at fjord cruises. Oh, okay. Okay, fjord cruises sounds great. You should taste Mac, a Norwegian beer. Okay. Mac Daddy. You should take a cable car off the mountain. Oh, that sounds terrifying. Okay. Alright, but I will go for a Mac. Return of the Mac. Eat Norwegian local food. You've never heard of a Euro Spa? No. To be fair, maybe. We have Spa in the UK, but Euro Spa, I've possibly seen them. Actually, I think I've probably been to one in like Spain or something. Take a picture of the Euro Spa when you're there. Gotta be done. Oh, what's this? Polaria. What's a Polaria? Oh, an aquarium. Oh, aquarium. Good enough for me. I love an aquarium. The architecture, by the way, looks incredible in this city. It really does. Scott Tidd says, great theme music. Time for a switch to EDM. Yeah, if I can get anything licensed. Saw Porter at Electric Forest here in the States. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I've seen Porter Robinson once. when he played in a Reading Festival in the UK. But that was like 5 years ago. That was in his Worlds era. But yeah, Paul Robinson, like, just my favourite musical artist of all time. And probably always will be. I hope. But yeah, Scott, thank you for watching their channel. And again, very jealous of you seeing Porter Robinson. Sam Momin, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. B says, try jumping off the top of a mountain. Okay. We'll see. There's some interesting suggestions you guys are making. Let's maybe leave some of these. Let's look. Right, okay, let's look for one more place to visit. Okay, so there's a Arctic Museum, awesome. Polar Museum, awesome. What's the difference between an Arctic Museum and a Polar Museum? You would have thought they're similar. A great place to take a picture. Yeah, I'll say. What is this? Botanical Gardens. Oh my word, there's so much to do here. Wow. Can you talk about your dream last week? Oh yeah. When I dreamt, I had a nightmare. I can't remember what it was. You know what it was? Ironically, I think I had a nightmare that someone transferred in Bowen into my team. And then I woke up on deadline day morning thinking, oh my God, someone's transferred Bowen into my team. Like, I dreamt I got hacked. And they didn't, like, in the hack, they didn't, like, destroy my team or anything. They literally, all they did was remove, I can't remember who it was. It might have even been De Bruyne and brought in Bowen. And I woke up in the deadline day morning thinking, oh my word, my team is ruined. However, ironically, if that dream did come true, if that dream was real, I would be up, what, how many points? How many points did Bowen score last game week? Like 20, pretty much. And De Bruyne scored 0 points. So can you, like, imagine? But man, alive. Like, you know you are too addicted to FPL when you wake up from a nightmare and the nightmare is that someone changed your FPL team. And that is scary enough that you wake up, like, in sweats. Because I literally woke up sweating like, oh my God, I can't believe it. My season's over. But I would be 20 points up if it happened in real life. I'm in too deep. I am in too deep. Maybe, Scott, that's such a good point. Sounds more like a vision than a dream. Maybe it was a vision. Maybe I've unlocked some kind of FPL future-telling power and I didn't even realize it. Yeah. Maybe it's that. It's not though, is it? It's just not. It's just not. Oh well. Oh well. Rune says, I'm from Oslo, never been to Tromsø. Wow, you're from Norway and you've never even been. You should go. You should go. I'm going. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there for a, what's the weird name of that beer? A Mac. I'll meet you guys at Tromsø for a Mac. A prophecy, yes. Yes, it was a prophecy. The prophecy was foretold. That Bowen would outscore De Bruyne. And I chose to ignore the prophecy. Not good enough. Not good enough, is it? I should have shared that information. Should have shared the information. All right, tell you what. Next time I have a dream about FPL, and it will happen, because it's my life, apparently, I will share the news. And you guys will learn. Whatever prophecy is foretold next, I will tell you. Reindeer rock art. Okay. You're basically Emily Blunt from Edge of Tomorrow now, Dan. Brilliant. The new Macbeth. It's going to be amazing. Andrew says, if you've got a stalker who watches your stream, they'll be booking flights to Tromsø now. I don't think people will go that far to see a see a poxy FPL YouTuber. All right, I can't wait. I can't wait for my next dream about FPL now. I'm going to tell all of you guys about whatever prophecy we have. I'm too early for Wales safari season. Oh, well, too bad. Never mind. The prophecy will return. It will. Sam says, brilliant content, Dan. Keep up the good work. I don't know if this is brilliant content. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not my best work, I have to admit. But we'll see. Scott says, maybe you've cursed the prophecy now by ignoring it. Well, I hope not. Sabil, new video series, The Foretold Prophecy. I'd have to make sure I'm doing a lot of dreams. Arbenstar says, what do you rank yourself among FPL content creators? Depends what we're ranking by. If we're ranking FPL content creators by like quantity of hair, I put myself pretty high. FPL skill, maybe not as high. Although I do have the highest finish of everyone. Well, of all the big content creators. But of course that was the one season wonder, so I don't know if we can factor it in. So it depends how we're ranking it. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle, maybe. I don't know. I to be honest, I don't really care. As long as there's people around who are here to watch and enjoy watching, then I'll be here. No matter how much I'm ranked, really. Andrew says, do you ever get recognised when out and about? Not. Wow, I don't really go out and about. But yeah, if I go to a football game or something football specific, then maybe. The weirdest time I've ever been recognised was at my brother's wedding, not by a guest, but by like a waiter. You know, someone who was working at the wedding venue as a waiter was like, just like was serving up the what are they called, the canapes, serving up the hors d'oeuvres, the canapes on a tray, and was like, "Are you Dan?" I said, "Yeah." But I kind of thought, okay, maybe this is something wedding related because it's my brother's wedding. I was the best man at the wedding. So I thought, oh, okay, yeah. Like, do you need my help with something or something like that? And he was like, FPL Mate. I was like, yeah, okay. We've got a cultured gentleman. Right here. So that was the strangest time I got recognised. At my own brother's wedding that was nothing to do with the wedding. Pretty wild. Rune, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel once again. I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Join in once again. Who is your favourite FPL content creator? My favourite FPL content creator would be... does the FPL Wire count? I watch the FPL Wire every week religiously. Love it. Have you ever considered doing watch-along streams? I've considered it, yeah. Yeah, but honestly, the problem is, because I'm spending so much time, like, during the week, making videos, and then often uploading on a Sunday, and then on Monday doing, like, another video, and then, like a stream in the evening, and on Saturday mornings, I'm doing streams again on Saturday mornings. The only time I actually get a break from, like, doing content, doing FPL stuff, is... literally the afternoons and evenings of the Saturday. So that's where a lot of the games are as well. So although I would love to do watch along streams, and I'm definitely something that I would consider, it's kind of my downtime in many ways where I can actually just chill. So yeah, not right now, but never say never. Never say never. Rune says, let me know if you are going to Oslo sometime and grab a pint. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Sabil says, did he serve blackcurrant squash? No, unfortunately not. Scott says, next week, Dan starts the stream to mysterious music with smoke coming from a crystal ball. The prophecy. Bybab says, hope all is good, Dan. Good to see you. Good to see you too, my friend. And all is indeed good. Dine NPC says, can always watch and edit videos at the same time. I guess you're right, yeah. But it will just take me longer to edit. Just take me so much longer to do it. I do usually watch football and edit at the same time, to be fair, on a Sunday. How close are we to getting the team news? We are only 4 or 5 minutes away. And then I'm going to disappear, guys, because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I haven't actually eaten anything today, which I only realised when I started the stream. I was going to eat at, like, lunchtime, but then I realised, okay... Streaming at 11:30. It's now 2 almost. Which probably... Yeah, I didn't have time to eat before the stream, basically, and now I need to eat something. I need to look after myself more, man, honestly. Really am bad. Really am bad. Any more early team news? We'll get full team news in a few minutes anyway, so I don't think there's too much point in looking for leaks or anything like that. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a quick look. We may as well have a quick look. Let's see here. Right. Apparently, Chelsea are in a back 3. We've got the full 11 for Liverpool. It's Kelleher, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Clark, Gomez, McAllister, and then a front 3 of Elliott, Gakpo, Diaz. So no Darwin, as we knew. Can't really think who else is missing there, really. Szoboszlai not starting. Yeah, he looked like he could potentially return, but he hasn't. Finn says, Dan, would you rather come first in FPL or Arsenal win the league? We're not having this conversation again, but the answer is first in FPL by a long shot. Kabalash says, a bit weird to ask, but why not eat on the stream? Is it something you don't like to do? Yeah, not really. Yeah, I don't really like eating on stream. I don't know. It just feels a bit rude when you're like trying to talk to people. But I guess like people who stream for a long time, they do it. But I try and eat around the stream. The only time I've ever eaten on stream was when we do the like the FPL launch day streams where we literally stream for like 8-9 hours. So you kind of don't have a choice. Dan the Man says, do you see yourself doing FPL content in 5-10 years time? 5, yes. I think we can make this channel survive for 5 years. I really hope we can make this channel survive for 5 years. 10 years, I don't know, because you never know. Like, YouTubers die like crazy after a few years. Like the fall off from like it's like when people start new businesses, most don't survive past the first year. With YouTubers, most don't survive beyond 5 years. So the odds are against you after 5 years. But hey, we'll see. We'll see where FPL is. We'll see if any. Well, obviously, if I can keep up consistently improving my content, which I will desperately try and do. In fact, I want to try and invest quite a lot of money actually into improving this YouTube channel over the next year. Because obviously I've been saving a lot of money that we've made through the YouTube channel with the intention of reinvesting it back in just to try and create the best YouTube channel possible. Just to try and hopefully we can just keep going with this for a little while longer, because yeah, I love doing this and I wouldn't change it for the world, and I don't want to change it for the world. And the longer we can carry on making content, the better. For my sanity, because honestly, I don't think I can go back to doing a normal job. How many hours do you put in a week? I don't know, probably like 60. Something like that. But it's fine when you enjoy it, right? Right. Gomez to play DM. Yes, indeed. It looks like it, doesn't it? Once again. Should start getting these teams coming in soon on... I always do this. I just go to the Fantasy Premier League Twitter page, because they just retweet all of the official team sheets from the respective Twitter accounts. So it's a really useful way of seeing it all in one place. Got to give a shout out to them for that. Right. Is my wife calling me? Does she know I'm still streaming? Morgan? Are you calling me? I am, yes. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to stream for like another 2 minutes. And I'll be done. Or 3. 3 minutes. Okay, right. Where were we? Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got Chelsea team first of all. Petrovic, Chalobah, Disasi, Colwill, Gusto, Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher, Chilwell, Palmer, Jackson. That's back 3. That's a back 3. Interesting. Now looking at the way they've laid it out, it looks like it's a two strikers. Palmer Jackson playing as pair of forwards. Possibly. I hope. Okay, interesting. More team news coming in. So after, let's just go team by team. So for Brentford, we've got Flecken, Roslev Zanka, Ajay, Collins, Region. 5 at the back. They're going against Chelsea. Norgard, Onyeka, Yanel, Wissa, and Tony. So no more pay. He finds himself back on the bench. And 5 at the back. But I mean, these are not first choice defenders, are they? West Ham start with Areola, Sofal, Zoma, Mavropanos, Emerson, Alvarez, Sochek, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, Kudus, and Bowen. So Antonio back on the bench once again. Don't know if there's too much interesting information there. For Everton, Pickford in goal, Mikalenko, Branthwaite, Tarkovsky, Godfrey, Onana, Garner, Decore, McNeil, Harrison, and Beto. No Calvert-Lewin, no Young. Dobbins back in the squad. For Fulham, Leno, Castan, Tosin, Bassi, Robinson, Reed, Lukic, Wilson, Andreas, Awobi, and Muniz. So Muniz is starting. Who was the guy who put in a super chat to predict that Muniz is going to haul today against Brighton? Let's see if it happens. He's starting, so that's a good start. For Brighton, Estupiñán is actually starting the week I bench him. Is this a joke? Am I a joke to you? Oh my god. Of course. Of course. Of course. Oh my word. This is worth a tweet. Yeah. We'll find a meme. I'll come back to that. Right, let's finish on the team news and then I will go. Wolves lineup: Sa, Semedo, Kilman, Dawson, Totti, Aitnori. So 5 at the back again. Lamina, Doyle, Sarabia, Neto, Bellegarde leading the line. For Newcastle, we've got Dubravka, Trippier. So Dubravka back in. Trippier, Cher, Botman, Byrne. Bruno, Longstaff, Willock. Nice to see Willock back in the starting 11. Murphy, Gordon, and Isaac up top. Very nice indeed. Right, for Liverpool, we already know Liverpool, but we'll do it again quickly. Keller, Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate, Diaz, McAllister, Gakpo, Elliott, Robertson, Clark, Bradley. For Forest, we have to click on this arrow, which is annoying. Sells, Williams, Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi, Toffolo, Dominguez, Alanga, Yates, Origi, Omobamidele, and Murillo. So no Awoniyi starting, which makes Awoniyi less appealing for Game Week 29. For Crystal Palace, Johnston, Munoz, Ward, Anderson, Richards, Mitchell, Lerma, Wharton, Eze, Ayew, and Mateta. Eze back in the starting 11, which is good to see. He's firmly on my wish list at the moment. But the rest of the team there is not looking great. They're not in a great position. Son could cook. Anyway, speaking of Son, Vicario, Royale, Romero, Van der Ven, Odogi, Basuma, Bentancur, Madison, Kulusevski, Son, and Timo Werner himself. And that, guys, concludes all of the team news. All the team news. Okay, guys, right, we're going to wrap things up. That's it. Thank you so much for watching today's stream. Really, really appreciate you guys joining me today. If you enjoyed what you saw today, make sure to drop a like before you disappear. Do subscribe if you haven't done already, but I know most of you guys have already subscribed, and I appreciate you guys for that. But I am going to see you later. I'll catch you over on Twitter for all of the reaction to all of the Game Week stuff, and I'll see you possibly tomorrow for another video, if not on Monday for videos and streams. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, appreciate you guys. Good luck this game week. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.